Welcome back to Movie Talks. I'm Daniel,
I'm Fernando.
and Karen, our producers in the computers, and we have a lot to Talk about. But first, question of the day: what is a hidden gem movie that not a lot of people know about, but it's important to you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. No one's ever asked me that.
Really?
Yeah, you're the very first person that ever asked me that. So,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of movies, especially back during the blockbuster years, in which you sort through all the ones, and your parents were like, okay, you have three choices because that's how much you. I think that's how much you could rent. And for our family, we would pick our blockbuster, and then we have one movie we're like, I'm not sure how this was. So before I tell you mine, do you have one?
I do actually, and it goes back to the Blockbuster days.
Yeah.
So we had a subscription for Blockbuster that we charges $30 a month, and we can take out, I think, maybe like 4 movies a week. I
Okay.
think that's what it was. But the one movie that I didn't think it was going to be great, but turned out to be a great movie, was The Pianist.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now that won Best Picture, and Adrian Brody won for Best Actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect with that movie, but I remember I went with my dad, and he's like, "Hey, what's that movie about the pianist?" I was like, "Well, it's probably about music." And
Well, it was, and it's based on a true story, really.
yeah, but see, me and my dad, we only thought it was gonna be about a guy playing the piano,
Yeah.
but to our surprise, it was like, "Wow, World War II,
Yeah.
genocide!" I was like, "Whoa, did not expect that," but it was a great movie.
Is there one that kind of captured your that stood out, or is there a scene or anything that made it very unique compared to anything else, or you just was like, this is not a movie that I could ever thought that it would be anything more than just a person playing piano?
You know, there's a scene that I really liked about the movie that still stays with me until this day, and it's about the German who gives bread
Oh,
to the Jewish guy. I forgot his name.
yeah. No, I think I know what the scene is.
Yeah. So he's just holed up in the attic, and then he just goes downstairs, starts playing the piano, and then the German officer is just looking at him.
Wow.
Yeah. And after that, obviously he thinks he's gonna kill him,
Mhm.
but he doesn't. He just leaves. And he's like crying because, the stress that he was under.
Uh-huh.
So I guess that stress, that beautiful portrayed performance by this guy who's just really got to me, and it still stays with me to this day, especially the way where he eats the bread because he hasn't had anything to eat for days.
I'm guessing this is towards the ending, right?
Yeah, it's towards the end. So he takes a bite of that bread and he's just like, he enjoys it. And I could feel it too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I eat bread like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see him eat the bread like that, it's like, I can relate.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the
Not to
in-
his
not-
standard,
not
but yeah.
to him, not eating for 2 days, but I enjoy bread as much as he, and I can just guess, if I'd starve for 2 days and someone would give me like a Mexican sweet bread,
Mhm.
I'd be like, God, yes.
Well, see, I'm glad yours is the more happier. The one scene I remember, which kind of like shocked me, was the scene in which all the German people was going into this rich person Jewish house, and they were just taking all their shit, and the Jew people, the family could do anything. They just had to watch him and walk away, and I was like,
Mhm.
God damn.
Yeah, throwing
That
things
could-
out the window. and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. I
was
thought that
like,
was very impressive.
I was like, well, that's kind of shocking. Okay,
Yeah.
so my movie, I don't know when the year it is, but this is towards the time where I wanted to do movies. Like, this is one of the movies that made me like, wow, this is great storytelling. And it's an old movie called The Red Violin.
I never watched that.
Oh yeah, this is back when I think I must have been almost 12 years old. My mom, I remember she's like, watch this movie. We sat down all together, and oh my God, I've never thought of a story to be told that way, because it starts off with basically how Red Violin got made, but it only shows like this guy, he's a perfectionist as a violin maker.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the movie goes along and you go to the travelers of this violin, you get bits and pieces of why it's so important and the tragedy of each person who played it. I won't go into much spoiler because I do want people to watch it. I mean, it's a great journey. Samuel L. Jackson is in it, which I'm like, back in the days, you're just like, wow, this is a very interesting person. But he didn't swear. So, he's not the Samuel L. Jackson we know today. But, that movie, and not a lot of people like seen it, heard about it.
It's very underrated then.
It's very underrated. I mean, the beginning of this film is also in most of this film actually is in foreign languages too, so just subtitles stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
But
What country is it from? Do you know?
Rome. Well, what country was made?
Yeah.
I do not know. I know it's a early Lionsgate film. I think back when Lionsgate was them and Miramax was the studio that was just coming out with all these new ideas and stuff like that. And Red Violin, I mean, that's one movie back to my earliest childhood out, which started my whole loving of movies. Because before, we wanted just for entertainment purposes, but when you can have to think about it, wow, in the storytelling, great movie. Another one, I won't go too much of it, but I thought it was amazing because we just took it off our blockbuster shelves. Was called The Eye. Now this is the Chinese version, not the horrible Jessica Alba version.
Oh, there's a remake for it.
Oh yeah, because in this one, the only thing I can tell you this is, they got an eye in an old Chinese hospital where it was dirty, cringy, and you're like, yeah, suspicious. Like this kind of thing would happen in a suspicious place like this.
Mm-hmm.
So when that movie came out too, I'm like, wow, this is such a different type of storytelling, and that's what drew me into movies. Actually, is the way people were able to tell stories in a different way and how different countries comes at it. So I don't know. Well, I mean, if you guys have any comment on our website, on Instagrams and YouTube. But first, let's talk about the movie we're talking about today.
I'm excited.
What will happen if you give a shitload of cocaine to a bear? And the movie we're talking about, of course, is Cocaine Bear.
And honestly, I think that's a question that would be for everyone.
Yeah. Well, to anybody. I mean, even to any animal, because you've seen them. Okay, look, we all seen stuff where an actor in a movie would like blow smokes, some weed on an animal, and then they get high. But coke is something really different, and this movie is crazy. I mean, the trailer itself made it appealing, but goddamn. So first of all, what did you think about it?
I went in with like a different mentality of what it was going to be. I did watch the trailer, but I just thought it was going to be like a comedy.
Yeah.
I really just thought it was going to be like an animated bear talking, a talking animated bear with people.
Which would work.
It would work, but that's the mentality I had going in to watch this movie. And then when I see that the slaughtering starts, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. They made it like a very suspenseful thriller.
Very like a total animal horror movie.
Yeah.
Well, okay, the story actually is not this case. None of the story is real. Okay, they say based on a true event, but that's because there was a time where this drug dealer, they were getting catch by the cops, and he threw just kilos of cocaine out somewhere, and he ended up dying from the plane crash. And a bear did end up, ingesting so much of this cocaine, but it just died, And now it's like
so much.
Yeah, and now what these guys do, they stuff the bear and they call him Pablo Escobar, which I'm like, wow.
And the funniest part is like he just eats the entire like bags of cocaine.
Yeah.
Something like that on anyone, it was just like instant death.
Well, he did die after 3 hours of ingesting it because, with that much fucking thing going on at your heart.
He didn't die.
What?
No,
in the movie?
Die. Yeah.
No, in real life.
Oh, okay. So on the base,
yeah,
the true story that you're telling. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he did die, but he didn't go crazy like this. I mean, the bear did actually. Pablo did go a little bit crazy, but he didn't go on a fucking killing spree. So,
well, that's where the magic of filmmaking comes in. You have to make things more dramatic.
Now, this was directed by Elizabeth Banks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of? So what do you think of her direction of this film?
I honestly thought it was good.
I didn't think that she would do good in this.
I don't know who she is, but just by watching the movie alone, I thought it was good.
Well, she directed first. She did that Charlie's Angel movie. The recent one with what's her name?
Like the latest one.
Yeah, with Kristen Stewart and with all that controversy behind it.
Yeah.
And she was in the Hunger Games. She was that girl that was helping them. So she's a very popular actress. But based on what she did before, I was like, hey, this is gonna be horrible because I right. But here's the thing about this type of movies that you have to know what it is and be honest with it. And okay, for me, I loved it, but I wish she went harder in the violence.
Really, dude? That's as violent as it gets.
Okay, look, it could have gone as Quentin Tarantino violence. I mean, I just thought like this reminded me of a B movie. You know, back in like the 1980s, 70s, where killer animals. They were just like Jaws, but they would never do what Jaws could do. But if you're gonna go crazy on this killer bear, because it did some crazy shit. Okay, It ran over. Okay, first of all. Okay, I know. Spoilers alert. Okay, we're just gonna say it now. It fucking chased down an ambulance truck. Now I don't understand how that shit happens because
jumps into the ambulance and start like ripping everyone apart.
Everyone apart.
Oh my god.
Killed. I mean, it nonstop. It basically, whoever came across that bear, died, and horribly. I mean, and the bear didn't eat it. It
was
just
killing.
Yeah, just pure killing.
Yeah.
So, it was a fun movie. Ray Liotta is in there, and it was good to see him before he died. I mean, he is such.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's such a great actor.
Yeah, he's a legend, but I don't think besides Goodfellas, I don't think I ever saw him in another movie.
He plays a lot of small roles, but he always plays the same. That's the one thing. He always played that same character. But it's one of those. I say one is. If he's in a movie, you want to see him in it. You know what I mean? Because he has that draw no matter what. I mean,
that iconic look.
Yeah, the whole "I'm gonna kill you at any moment" kind of type of.
Yeah, don't mess with me.
Or I'm gonna say some funny shit. And like in this movie, he said some funny ass shit. I mean, seriously. And he played as that crazy coke boss. I want my money and everything.
Yeah, Scarface looking type.
Yeah. Now for the other characters, did you really care about them?
Well, the other one is Ice Cube's son.
Yes.
And I thought that was very interesting because he usually plays like a badass type. And this one, he kind of like plays. Well, no, he's still a badass in this movie.
He's still a badass.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting about the gang members. The kids.
His friends.
The kids.
Oh, the kids.
I thought they were so interesting because they look very fruity.
They were.
They look fruity, but they were still just because they were super high on drugs.
Okay, so first of all, we'll explain again. I'll spoil it. They find one drugs, and then the kid was like, "Yeah, I did drugs a lot. Yeah." And then the other girl, she's just like,
"Oh no, I was talking about the gang members.
Oh,
not the kids.
Oh, okay. I don't think
the gang members. Yeah, they looked very fruity.
Oh, they were.
Like he's not what your typical gangster looked like.
Well, that's why I would say this is a comedy horror, not even a comedy horror, but more like a comedy slasher.
Yeah, movie. Dark comedy.
Yeah. Because I didn't take anyone seriously. When the ranger died, I was like laughing, okay? Because that was such a stupid way of dying.
Yeah.
All the deaths were just outrageously dumb, okay.
But isn't that what you like? Then you say like either go in.
That's the thing. I knew, okay, so if I came into this movie thinking that, oh yeah, this is going to be a art piece of cinema in the world, I would be like, this is stupid.
Did you go into the movie theaters and wondering, like, I hope this is not stupid, and they went all in?
I was hoping to see a lot of blood and just a lot of gore and just be laughing this whole time.
I take it you watched the trailer then.
Oh yeah, I was totally in deep. When I first saw that, I'm like, cocaine bear. You know what this remind me of? Snakes on a Plane.
Oh, there's some motherfucking snakes on the motherfucking plane.
Yeah, but in that series where you just like, yeah, of course.
You know, it's like you just look at the title and you think to yourself, I wonder what that is like. It's like, it sounds stupid, but when you go in, it's like, wow, it's serious.
I wonder what would happen. Next movie will be called Bear on LSD or something like that.
Some stupid thing like that, yeah. And you
They're
know
on
what? It
speed.
would draw the audience.
Oh yeah, can you imagine if he ingested all this, every single type of drugs around? He starts shooting up heroin and shit. I mean, I don't know. But again, I don't know. Okay, so let's rate. Okay, let's quickly rate this movie before we. If you can do a letter grade, it's at least a B.
I'd still give it a C. I thought it was entertaining, but it's not the type of movie that I like to watch.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna go too harsh on this because again, it did what it did the job it's gonna do. It
Mhm.
made you laugh. It made you fucking freak out every time freak out every time you wanna every time you see gore or whatever. And I don't know, the ending was kind of lame. I'll say that. The ending was kind of like, with Carrie Russell, which hello, she's in there maybe 20 minutes of the film looking for her kids
Yeah.
and
Her daughter.
her daughter. And well, yeah, because the other one, she ended up finding the other one. But my problem, okay, the only problem with this is that all the other characters' story is just lame. I didn't care. I was just waiting for the bear to kill him. To be honest,
That's really all you expect from this movie. You just want to see the bear
dude,
kill
I
someone.
wanted the bear to kill even Carrie Russell. I didn't care about. I'm like just fucking the kids. You're like, don't kill the kids, really. But I wouldn't.
They didn't go all the way with the kids.
Dude, if they would have killed the kids, that would have been impressive. I'm just saying. But
You know what I thought was really funny, and I thought that was probably the best part of the movie, great moments, is when the kids said, "Yeah, I've done cocaine before," and they start eating it
that's
by
the-
this spoonful. I thought that was wow, that's hysterical.
see, I don't understand that. They took those drugs and they didn't freak out. You figure, well, they didn't show. The bear chased after them.
No, but they were.
But they were
affected by
but-
it.
Come on, kids on cocaine. That would be great. I don't know.
And it's funny because after they ingested the cocaine, the mom finds the kid, and he starts being very obvious about. So what would happen if say for example, someone did cocaine?
Did you do cocaine? Yeah.
Dude, I thought that was priceless. Those
is.
kids made the movie too.
Yeah. Again, the kids were awesome. I think they didn't know what kind of level of comedy they're gonna go in, but they just had. It just seemed like they had the best lines. They had such a childlike mind of it, compared to everyone else. Where even Ice Cube kid, he was fun. The funny thing about him is he gets his hand shot off, and I don't know
couple
how the
fingers.
hell. Yeah, but see, it was his pinky and his middle.
Finger, yeah. And he even says it in the movie. It's like,
Yeah.
how did this happen? How did I lose these two fingers?
From one shot. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, how did he lose his finger?
It wasn't Ice Cube's son. It was the other guy that was with. The guy that is against killing.
His partner.
Yeah, his partner. He was like, how does that happen? How do you lose his finger like that?
Oh, that was Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie. There we go.
Oh,
He was like, how do you even lose fingers like that?
what a weird film. I mean, hey, you know what? Like I said, this is a great film.
It worked though,
It
really
worked. It worked. I give Elizabeth Banks props. After bombing with Charlie's Angels,
well. Oh my
I think
God.
she should. I think this is kind of like don't give her maybe she should wait on getting a high production film again. But yeah, this was great. I am glad that she had a good writers around her. But here's one thing I would say: this shows what a decent director would do with a great team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean,
It really also depends on how hungry you are. Because in my opinion, I feel like the director knew that Charlie's Angel was a flop.
yeah,
She knows. So when something like that happens with a director or cinematographer or whatever position it is, when you feel like your work wasn't good enough, you have to step it up.
well,
Especially in that type of environment. If they say like the movie was horrible reviews, you're gonna be like, wow. And these people in the industry, they don't slow down just because they get a bad review, because they live off bad reviews.
yes.
So what they do is they just step up their game and try to make a better movie, which is what happened with this director. She made a flop with Charlie's Angels, but with this movie, I think she really stepped up her game.
well, she okay, so the first Charlie's Angels, she did the whole women empowerment thing,
Yeah.
and compared to this one where she just, hey, you know what?
Let's forget
Let's
about the woke ideas
yeah,
and let's make a slasher movie.
let's make a slasher movie where we just chop women's head off.
And Bear goes in a killing rampage.
Yeah, from cocaine. Maybe she took some cocaine.
You know, that's actually what I was going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they all sat down on a table, did a whole bunch of cocaine. It was like, so, oh, guys, all right, so we got to think about something right now.
Did you?
We should make a bear kill people. Oh, cocaine!
Cocaine. make it, and let's brutalize everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised in that the bear had kids. It was ended up being a female bear.
Oh, yeah, and the two
and
cubs.
had 2 cubs, and now are the cubs are gonna be drug addicts too?
Yeah, they all
mean-
were like going after the cocaine.
Oh, that's right, because they went after Ray Liotta because he had the cocaine, right?
Exactly.
Oh
so
my
they were
God.
in the caves,
Yeah,
and you see like these 2 little cubs just filled in like white powder.
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you see them all in white powder, and they're like, oh, whenever they
my
see
God.
the red bag, they just go insane. It's like, yeah, we want it.
I
If they could talk,
uh,
ooh.
I appreciate film like this that just do not hold any. Well, like I said, I think she could have bought more in, but it's just a good.
Here's the
story.
thing about this
It's
movie.
It's not a great story, but it's fun.
This is actually what I was going to tell you about this movie. This is the type of movie that there's no woke idealisms. Like, this is
Yeah.
just a movie that you go into the movie theaters and just enjoy. Enjoy the killing, enjoy the stupidity, enjoy just whatever happens, without putting your ideals on people.
Here's the thing with also this type of movie technically shouldn't have been made. Meaning, with all the movies with Avatar, Marvel movies, I am surprised that this didn't go streaming. Because
Yeah.
movies like this is so hard to be made where it's just good fun. I mean, one movie that I'm looking forward to is The Machine. It's a great comedy film, and you don't get those mid-level. I mean, look what's coming out too. Scream's coming out.
Oh my God, yes, another one.
John Wick's coming out, which we will be watching that. All these high-profile movies, and then you have
Cocaine
Cocaine
Bear.
Bear.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And I think, what really changed the game was the pandemic.
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it, because movie theaters were used to be very elitist. It would be very, very expensive to put a movie in theaters. So after the pandemic, people didn't go, and movie theaters had to lower their prices. Actually, as a matter of fact, I heard, and don't quote me on this, but that Regal was going bankrupt, or that it closed a ton of movie theaters.
I think it was Regal.
It was Regal.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it went bankrupt or it just closed a whole bunch of theaters. But that's what happens when you're elitist and the prices are so high that you won't even give the chance to small indie movies like Cocaine Bear.
Well,
And right now I think the prices are still kind of
it's way too high.
semi-cheap. No, right now semi-cheap enough for indie movies to make a hit in theaters.
Oh, yes.
Like, for example, Everything and Everywhere All at Once was in theaters for a very long time. And that wouldn't have happened with an indie movie before pandemic, because it was just too expensive to put a movie in theaters.
It is, and I would say that movie it's a high risk film.
Mm-hmm.
That can go either one way, because it's such a complex film where it would either keep people away, just because. Why would we want another multi-universe? There's a lot of films that go too complicated, like Darren Aronofsky films, right? At those films, it's like a hidden. I mean, a lot of people. It's like a split. People who can either get it or don't, and that's why his movies are so hard to drive into the movie. To put in the movie theaters, because not everyone want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine Bear, great marketing. That's all you had to say was Cocaine Bear. Snakes on a plane.
Yeah, sometimes the simple things are the things that make the most impact.
Right. So I really, despite me not liking Elizabeth Banks as much, I hope this movie succeeds. I really do. And if there's and I hope, oh my God, I hope this becomes as good as Sharknado in sequels. No, I take that back. Maybe not too much, but at least I won't be mad if there was.
You had me quiet there for a second when you said as good as Sharknado. I was like,
No.
okay,
No,
pause.
Sharknado is horrible. That movie is it's one in my it's not it's horrible. As a person who loves films and knows films and how things are made, I'm like, how?
I think that's a movie that you have to watch when you're like on a lot of drugs.
Oh no, it's that, and it's a good movie to laugh at. I mean, it's one where it seems where you can there's games on Sharknado. There's a whole community of how bad. There's a whole community of good, great, bad movies.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna make him watch one of these. So
Oh, God, please don't.
hey, before we go, I want to just say Children of Corn has a new movie out.
I don't know who that is.
The Children of the Corn. It's like an old 1980 film.
I never watched it.
Okay, I do not want to see it, but I don't know. That drew my eye before we go. But anything more you want to say about this before we head out?
No, I just thought it was a fun movie. If you're really looking to just escape reality for a second, if you want to just relax and have a good giggle here and there, I think Cocaine Bear is the movie to watch.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Matinee if you want to. I paid full price, but I thought it was fine.
Oh no! And by the way, I have Movie Pass, so I only pay $10 a month for 3 movies. So no full price for me for that movie.
I'm getting on that too. Okay, because movies is getting expensive. $40 to go there a day.
Really?
$40. It was like You
paid 40 for it?
Well, because tickets are like almost $20, and then food
okay.
itself is a
if
lot.
you take someone with you.
Yeah. No, one ticket's like 16, I think now.
Although if you go to Sunset Station here in Las Vegas, I think it's like $25 a ticket, and that's insane.
I like the Galaxy here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe and comment. And I know I said that wrong.
You really gotta work on your outro.
Okay, let me try it again. Comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night.